It has been a while. There is a rumor about Germany where the police were told not to record the race of the suspect rapist of the immigrant and remove the word rape from the police report. Days ago, Selin Goren was raped by some migrants, but she intentionally covered that up by saying she was robbed by German speakers. After she talked with her friends and she confessed the truth to the police, she admitted that she lied. She lied about what happened and the race of the rapist. Is it called rape apology according to feminism? What's wrong with this woman? Why does she think that hiding the immigrant status of the rapist are more important than the truth? Why does she would rather be a victim of German than immigrant from Middle East? She says she didn't want more hatred against the migrants in Germany. So, is hatred against German acceptable? If the hatred against migrant is racism, is it the same for the hatred against German? Would it be worse if the crime was committed by migrants but having the German be the scapegoat? Is truth more important than ideology? Okay, I have to confess that I did support the idea of taking Syrian refugees and immigrants, but the question now is not about whether we should accept them or not. They fled their country because of the civil war to your place, and you cannot kill them all. They must stay or go somewhere unless you want to turn your country into Saudi Arabia. It's a matter of how many you're going to take. But it is impossible for a country with 1 million people to take 2 million migrants in a day. It's just impossible. It's not practical, and there's not much electricity, water, housing, and food in that 1 million people country. It's a matter of scale. Resources is not the only limiting factor, but the people living in the country and the people getting in. It is impossible for anti-Semitists to live with Jews. It is impossible for black-hating white supremacists to live with the white-hating black supremacists. The problem of leftist European immigrant supporters, as I have seen so far, they force their people to accept the immigrants. According to them, it is justified to endure for a while, and it will be good later on in the long term. Unfortunately, in our society, it is not a matter of whether it will be good or not. It's a matter of social acceptance, especially on the migrant. The people in most of the European countries are prejudiced toward the people in Middle East, toward the people who are Muslim. You have to accept this is a hard fact. The leftists should aware and accept that instead of forcing their people to accept their own ideology. The idea of forcing a great portion of the people to accept your own ideology they strongly against would eventually lead to the collapse of the society. Any changes in the society has to be in a moderate pace unless the people could take it. But what's more important, truth must come before ideology. Choosing the truth for an ideology is essentially a propaganda. Truth is not important compared to the ideology I support. Because it is what I support and it has to be done. It is the mindset of Miss Selin Goren when she went to the police. It's collectivism. People should sacrifice their own interests for the sake of an ideology, no matter it is good or not. It is collectivism. People are fine with it if they were benefiting from it or not affected too much from it. But it is not the case with this mass immigration. Most of the people will rather get out of the system and the European Union will collapse. The left-wing ideology coupled with the mass immigration in Europe nowadays is a perfect breeding ground for the right-wing monster we are seeing these days. After all, we are all human. This is something the leaders in EU should understand. We do not only hold the all thing or welcoming ideology, we also want to live in a good life without too much changes. It is absurd for most of the people to accept the people look differently, worshipping another god, speak another language, and have different understanding on the society. This system is going to fail. Communism didn't work because it is against humanity. So do I have a solution? No, I don't have one. This is philosophy king. The only thing I can see is a dystopia.